Ba, 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 ba. Well. Good evening. Welcome to Wednesday Night Warmaster instead of the normal Warlord, because we're waiting on Warmaster. Go up a scale. And yes, I hope that your week since last Wednesday, when we was doing the Mandalorians, that I'd got hold of, and it's been quite chilly since then, and quite the frozen tundra that we've had to exist in, unfortunately. But apart from that, I hope that everyone is okay and it's going well for you wherever you may be. I'm just hacking in to see how the stream is going, because now I'm getting messages coming up. Week since last Wednesday, Mandalorians that I'd got hold of, and it's been quite chilly since then. And the frozen. Yeah, so sorry, I was just obviously watching the playback. So sound is going through okay, so I'll continue for a little bit and see how it goes on. Obviously, if anyone drops in and says hello, I can't hear anything, then we'll have to drop it from there. So yes. Anyway, I was doing a little something before coming on tonight, because I was going to continue with the Warmaster that I started building last week, and I was doing another base for the big Warhounds. So this is a 10-inch sort of plyboarded base. This is the sort of wall filler, all-purpose filler that I used on the last one, and just repeating the same thing with this one for the other Warhound. I am also looking at probably, sorry, just noticed that I missed a bit. Probably going to be doing bases for my Reavers as well, because what's happened recently was my Reaver Titan Iracundus, there was some problems with its stance. I had a slight mishap with it at the last Titan walk, where it was on its original base that my friend Chris did for me, and it, as we was playing a game, engaged in battle against Mortis, boo, and Tempestus, double boo. I went to move it. I noticed that because the way the base works, it just literally just plugs in onto some like metal spikes, basically, into, and it's got holes in the feet, so it just plugs onto that and then moving along. But as I was moving it, it was coming off of them, so I thought, ooh, that's a bit dangerous, let's try and wiggle it back on, because I've got to put it back down. I was just like, this is just moving it forward slightly, and when I went to do that, it wasn't happening, and then the top tipped forward. And at that point, I no word of a lie, I dropped like a professional goalkeeper to try and save the Titan. And for a split second, I did envision my Reaver Titan, it can just like smash into 1,000 pieces and just splatter itself across the floor. Luckily, it didn't. There was only a little bit of damage where the chest plate broke off, but that easily fixable. That's happened several times before, so that wasn't major. I was really traumatized by that, because Reavers aren't cheap, or any Titan isn't cheap, and dropping it is one of the most terrifying things to do for a hobbyist when you've got your pride and joy in your hands and it just goes. So I managed to put it back up, put it into position. But when I was out the other day and had a game, and I noticed as I put it on its base, I set it up, and I noticed it was leaning back, like the legs, instead of being like that, were more like that. So it should have been was more like that, and it was like almost like a skiing position. So the knee joints had actually worked in way they're loose, so it was actually leaning back more. And I thought, hold on, that's not good. So I'd done some like temporary repairs there with some super glue and put it back into position. So it was either a combination of where it might have been knocked when it was sort of in the process of falling, as well as being in the last like weeks where it's been cold. The box was in the boot of my car, so obviously temperature has probably disrupted and destroyed the bond of the super glue and adhesives that I've used. So yeah, that wasn't good, and I was taking a look at it the other day, and I literally the leg just came off. It was like, I'm surprised it didn't fall apart whilst gaming. So I took the legs off, and yesterday I was doing a lot of gluing, gunking, JB welding, checking on the pins and everything. And I fixed it back into position. It may have been because the original position where the pins on the base were, and then trying to force it onto them, may have actually put more stress on the joints, which have, obviously, it's 12 years old. It's been assembled for that length of time, and it's been through a lot. It's been through hot temperatures, it's been through cold temperatures. So it's taken a fair amount of abuse over the course of the years. But it seems to be doing okay now. But after doing the first base for Donna Magna, because that needed it, because I honestly I did cock up on the building of Donna Magna. I put the legs on the wrong sides, so the pose I had and worked on, I put the wrong leg. I glued, and it was basically like a real strong fix. I'd have to cut it off, and I weren't getting to that, so I just worked with it. I put some bits and pieces, some like parts of a Bane blade actually, for it to be standing on. But again, I just thought, let's make it a bit more secure. So I've got a base, because a lot of the guys at the Titan Walks now have bases for theirs. So I thought I'd do the same, get a base for it, make it up, screw it to it, literally, and then that way it's a very stable base. It's not going to be like tipped over easily. You would have to boot it to knock it over, whereas freestanding Titans, you could brush past it and it's down. So at least there will be a bit more stability for them. And for the Reavers, I'm trying to find some discs. I've had some pointers from a couple of friends who's put me onto sort of like going through like eBay and stuff like that. But for the time being, we are working on this guy. So this is a Warmaster Iconoclast. There was going to be, for two Legios I had in mind, was Fortidus and Dauntless, and the Cockatrices, that is Legio Ozydax. And I'm feeling more drawn towards Ozydax with this guy. So that's what I'm going to work to. I'm going to get that, because that's, it's instinct with me. And, I'm looking at things. I could have gone with Solaria, so because Solaria's already got a Warmaster. I thought I could do an Iconoclast but I thought, no, I really would like to do a different Legio, and Ozydax is still the one that I'm thinking of. It just feels right, and I fancy doing the blue and white with it. So we're, as I said, continuing the build on here. That was the start of the base that I've got for it. So when I do bases, as some of you may already know, I'll get the main sort of feature of the base. So this is how it will stand there. I want to add some chains onto here as well, just to sort of like draped around where the cranes come down and such, and then obviously fix this foot into its position so it's like stomping through the debris of Riser, where it's been engaged in glorious battle, no doubt. But yeah, half the thing with Warmasters is trying to make use of the positioning, because it's such a maneuverable model, in that you can position it quite a lot. It's got a lot of posability with it, but because of the lobster plate it has on its chest here that comes down, that does restrict positioning a little bit. So once I get round to that, that's going to be coming down here. So you have to be careful, because as you can see in line with that, it could be hitting that because of the position of where this is. So you have to sort of build out a little bit, so it's almost like flapping really. And with that, it's going to hamper you trying to do more dynamic poses with these things. Admittedly, they're not meant to be sort of like really dynamic as such, but you like it to look visually stunning, and sometimes a pose can make a model, and that's what you always aim for. So yeah, I'm going to try that with this one. We'll work on the lobster plates today anyway, because I always put them on because I want to see them in position anyway. So that's that. So that's the plan we've got for today. Also doing the bases as well. So that's the position there. I've got my sandy mix. So for those who haven't seen it before, so we have a selection of, you know, bits of plastic even, cork rocks. There's little stony rocks as well, because some of these are like bits of like army painter, scenic kits, etc. There's different grains of sand in there as well. So the actual main sand on this actually comes from Southend Seafront. The white stuff is bicarbonate of soda, because I used super glue on here, and the bicarbonate soda just dries instantaneously, and it's like concrete. So it's really good for basing, I find, and also locking in models and bits and pieces. So I'll be putting that on there as well, mixing some of the rocks and other bits and pieces. So that's what we got for here tonight. Ooh, Evening Forge. I see the Master of Signal has done their job. yeah, we have a connection. So I thought I'd give it a go. It was the KBS was a lot higher than, if I'm not, I do. In front of me on my screen, I've got my YouTube studio set up on the left-hand side of my screen. On the right-hand side is OBS, where this camera work, the twin cameras and all that sort of stuff. So when I activate to like start streaming before logging in, well, still connecting to YouTube in the preview phase, it gives me the rate of kilobytes per second of what's happening. Ideally, in an ideal world, we want to be hitting 2,500 KBS. Currently, so if it has been a bit jittery, we're cruising around 867. It goes up, it goes down, it mingles around. So that's where we are. Like, when I first clicked on it, went up to about 1500, which is really cool. And then it just drops and plops. So that's why when there's a really bad connection, we have got an appointment for an engineer coming out in a couple of weeks' time. Hopefully they can get something done, and then we can get back to having normal streams. But until then, I'll get a little bit annoyed, really. Because they always say, "Oh, you're getting loads going in there. Oh, yeah, it's a fibre broadband. You get loads going in." And I was on the phone going, "Well, that might be nice. It might be coming into the house at that, but from the router and outwards, we're not getting anywhere near that. So can you fix it, please? You know, we pay enough money at the end of the day. Sort it out," I said. Right, 2 seconds. I just realised I left a beer outside. So, hobby fuel is necessary. Vox ID is good. The picture fed has some chop. Well, for the last few times we've had really bad visual. Audio's been fine. The visual has always let us down. But I think a lot of people, like when I was speaking to Ivy the other day, and she was saying, like, to be fair, like a lot of the time, everyone, because people are hobbying whilst I'm blabbering along, reading the replies in the chat, etc., etc., and you're listening to it, because that's what these sort of things are for. Is that it's not me just going around like, "Oh, this, that, and the other. Here's my hot take on something." I don't really do hot takes, but it's having somebody and hobbying with each other, because it's nice to have company when hobbying. And a lot of the time, I'm productive. People watching are productive, because it's just nice to have somebody else while you're at home, you know, headphones on, saying the family are doing things, or if you're on your own, at least you've got somebody in the hobby zone with you. Right. So applying super glue. I just normally get the real cheap stuff from the Screw Fix for basing. I do get I use Loctite Precision quite a lot for other things than basing. Right, let's get organised, Lee. So put my little drip tray there. So after I put the first bits on, I'll add some bits of cork. I'll say it's all random. And then sprinkle the sand on. So that's giving you some nice texture there straight off. And that's what we want. We want that texture there because it makes it a lot easier for when painting to have that definition and added realism. Because we all want realism with our toys. You just do this little section at a time. So I work around where the foot will be placed. Rocks in. So what are you up to tonight, Leaky? You're doing your tractor trailer thingy, your cat thingy. More building of that, or are you doing commission stuff? It's a particularly cold day at work today, and I feel like I'm actually coming down with a cold. Well, it's been cold all past week, but it's been exceptionally chilly. I really felt it today. That same is always coming in and causing problems for everybody. Pardon me. The Kronos is complete, so I'm working on some recon marines for Ivy. Been to Hatfield today, so fighting the fatigue. What, Hatfield? Down south? Down my way? Like, off the A1? Hatfield? I'm literally like half an hour from there. Oh, I popped in, I want to make a cup of tea. So it's also important to just keep checking positions. Hey, Milushid. Welcome, welcome. You passed that info on to your buddy yet, or? I'm saying that yeah, just to say, you just gone down to 414, mate. You would have been right to my workplace. Could have even used the facilities. Luckily, we have tissues, so that's handy. The gasp! I was nearby. Yes, we was in my realm of influence. Oops, sounds like the boy racers are in the car park again. Starting early this fine cold day. Oh, well, never mind, dude. And say, if you're ever at that area again, just give us a buzz or text me. Normally Fridays are the best days because I work on my own that day, so I can get the full tour. Not that there's much to see, apart from the forge, the actual forge, the original forge that I take my name from. Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew. Are you looking forward to the LVO reveals? Any speculation? I know a few people were thinking because they used for yesterday with the mention of 3-day typeset used. Oh, it's children. Well, never know, could be. I think one person said something that it was Fulgrim, like transcended Fulgrim, which would be cool because I definitely need a bit of snake hips. Mordaxis is a good leader. Right, the guys from Goonhammer in particular have a lot of love for Mordaxis. So yeah, Leakey's got his Recon Marine commission for Ivy, and I'm continuing with the build for this Warmaster. Awesome. 10 Mark 6 las cannons on a foot destroyer squad. It always used to be with destroyers, like, oh, you've got to have them with jump packs and that. But then, if you have them on foot, you can then use them for Zone Mortalis. Right now I'm doing the ironing, doing some painting. Dude, that's my life. Like, normally I'm like painting, not painting, I'm like doing ironing around my kids. Rob, evening all fellow hobby lunatics. That's what we are, hobby lunatics. Do like to, especially around the edges of certain things, to build up that sort of accumulation of dirt and gravel and stuff. Also hides any sort of gappy ends and what have you. What are you working on, Rob? Top secret project again? Evening Master of the Walter Base. See what I did there? Yes, we saw what you did there. We are not impressed. Yeah, Rob, so I started my second base. So just using that filler for Tacit Venatrix. So it's exactly the same as what I did with Donna Magna's base. So, yeah. Tetrion. All-purpose villa. Tough, smooth, permanent. But used inside and out. So, I picked up from Sainsbury's, of all places. And the bases the wood that I'm using for my basing is I got from Hobbycraft. For the Warhounds, I've gone for a 10-inch 10-inch wood round, which originally you would be using for a so that's like that. So you'd be using that for hobby homemade clocks, basically, because with that it's £4 for the disc, and you get the laser cut numbers for your clock face. Basically, you don't get the actual bits to like power a clock, like arms and the actual battery stuff and all that thing, but you get to make the face. So I thought 10-inch, that's what I want for those Tetrion. Yes, it is Tetrion. He's a it could be a transformer, I don't know. Mello would know. Tetrion. So bases go. That's all right. I'm happy with that. Again, you don't have to go crazy with it. Just gives it a little bit more sort of character having that than just a plain base. He says that whilst looking at the plain base that he's doing for his Warhounds, but that's just me. I'm not Rob. Rob has the ability and the skill set and the tools to do the things that he does. I have 10 destroyers with jump packs, but I'll build them when the first unit's done. Ah, cool. Revenant Titan for Beachhead, yes. No transformable Tetran. Thank you very much, Mello. We have it on official, and obviously he is an expert when it comes to Transformers. So believe me, he is. Quite pleased with myself. Finished the Phantom, painted 2 Wraith Knights, doing a Revenant this weekend. All painted, also painted the Rogue Door tank. You done a great job with that one. That was one of my favourite ones that I've seen, and obviously that's why I shared it on my Instagram because it looked awesome. So all good results for January. It's not bad going, really, when you think about it. That's a lot of work that you're putting in, especially like when I was watching you do those Wraith Nights. I thought, no, Jesus, the boy is on fire. Right, remains of. Should I? No, I shouldn't. No, that's too crowded. If I did add that, that's too crowded. Too crowded. No, not having it. Oh, Tetron kicked out the Constructicons for sucking. We don't know what he does in his spare time. Though there are plenty of time-traveling Transformers, including Tanuki, with a clock in his belly and actual robo testicles. Oh, glorious! But what does he test? What does his testicles transform into? Rob, was the Rogodor ruined by its lack of floor? People will make too much of a big deal out of the missing floor plate. You're not going to see underneath it. Finished Garrow, Knight of Grey, ties up loose ends nicely. Oh, bloody hell, is that out already? That's the mini thing, isn't it? Right. Buying that. That's now added to my. That is my 213th title in my Audible collection. The last one I listened to was Echoes of Eternity because it's awesome. Phil gave me a great idea and already built a mock-up tray which fits into the hole with all the spare weapons on it. Well, that's kind of similar to what Annie did. Well, not without having the tray, but what Annie, which of Green Gables or whatever her name is, I can't remember. I follow her, but I can't remember off the top of my head. She did her one that she got sent out, and she magnetized all the weapons and basically had, I think I was saying, metal on the inside because she was just sticking the magnets putting the weapons inside against the wall. So yeah, I was chatting with Spence Paints. Yesterday, fun enough, and I said, what I'd really want to see with that is like somebody making, like Phil suggested, a little like base section that can go into it, and on top of it is the new Arbites doggy. So it's just like you plonk that out of that sort of thing. The dog's inside, dog's driving a tank, and I also told him that he needed to have a little cigar. So he looks like War Daddy from Fury. Brass. They become belt-mounted equipment pouches, and they sit on his hips. That's sort of ingenuity we like, Rob. Got in Audible Saturday, finished it same day. Yeah, it's only 3 and a bit hours, isn't it? Post on Discord if you're there at Leaky. Nice. I'm up to 228. Not bad going. To be fair, with my Audible, I have re-listened to a few of them. So, like the Wheel of Time, I've gone through 3 times. That's like 14 books. Each ride. And obviously I've listened to Titan Death a few times, Spears of the Emperors a few times, Echoes a few times now. Actually, Neil Gaiman done what's it? I think View from the Cheap Seats, which was like a compilation of like interviews and stuff and bits and pieces that he did. He narrates it as well. Which I actually listened to that twice, which was quite weird because it has like, it's compilations of his interviews and whatever. But yeah, it's actually quite good. But the last, say, 18 months as such, with the exception of when Siege of Terror books have come out, although there was, where is it? I did do Hellbrecht, Brothers in Arms, Titanicus when it came out. So, when did Mortis come out? So yeah, I've done, what's it, in the last 18 months, I would say I've done Leviathan Falls, Blood Reaver, not Blood Reaver, what was the other one? Soul Hunter I've done. Yeah, Soul Hunter, Leviathan Falls, started Blood Reaver but I haven't finished it. Korax, Lord of Shadows, Mortis, Conrad Kurz, Dune, Hunters of Dune and Sandworms of Dune, Titanicus, Brothers in Arms, Hellbrecht. Started The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, but I'm just not. The problem I've got with Way of Kings, it's like I'm hearing all these great things about the books and the story and all that, but they use the same voice talent that done The Wheel of Time, because obviously he met them because he's done the last 3 books of Wheel of Time. So I keep on thinking of The Wheel of Time and getting trapped. Alfarius, Head of the Hydra. Ocean at the End of the Lane I done the other week, which is Neil Gaiman. Echoes of Eternity, and now Garrow. But yeah, the last 18 months I've been doing podcasts or listening to a lot of podcasts. So I've done all of Al Murray's We Have Ways of Making You Talk. I've done all of them. I'm all up to date on them. It's like 500 episodes or whatever. The rest is history, and it's a chat. which my mate Scott does with his friend Paul. Engine Phil. Oh, Engine Phil has claimed first, and as is the rules, if you claim first, you are first. Started on Felix and Gotrek series and book 8 now. I usually do one in a day when I'm painting. Just found your tray, Rob. Really neat. You mean Phil? Phil's idea. Yeah, it's Phil's idea. Check that out a sec. Re-listen to the whole heresy. Wow. That's cray-cray. But good on you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Most impressive. Most impressive. Yeah, we was talking about you earlier on, Phil, about the dawn hole, and that you suggested to do little trays for the weapons to plug in. Nice. Right, back to what I was actually doing, building stuff. So this has been going on for almost 50 minutes, and all I've done is added some texture to the thing. Battlefield Abyss, I strangely, weirdly liked it. I particularly liked the World Eater, who was going around with Gorechild. A stealthy World Eater was just hilarious. And he was on that ship for 2 weeks. That is even more hilarious. But yes. And obviously that was the first glimpse we got of the Thousand Suns as well, which Imhotep and the Waning Moon, I can remember a ship, and the Prospering Spire Guard, because that's where everyone started going, oh wow, they sound awesome. Yeah, I actually really did. Admittedly, yes, it is a car chase in space, and some people would say it was a car crash of a book. But I guess I'm just easily pleased, really. It was enjoyable, even though it did have the most stereotypical bloody at the time Space Wolves with the oh yes we are alcoholic werewolf dudes. So yeah, that wasn't because obviously they didn't become cool until Dan Abnett got hold of them. Well, speaking of Dan Abnett, his book comes out soon. It was the Black Library in March, Black Library thing in March, wasn't it? They advertised it today. I was listening to Old Earth on my way to Hatfield this morning. I'm finding it hard going. It's a bit boring. That's Nick Kime, wasn't it? With Salamander's short story or novella. New tabletop Inquirer just dropped. Astartes jet bikes, all still shaped like dicks. Cock rockets. They are cock rockets. But as I've said before, until you've got one of them in your hands, you can fully appreciate just how good they are. I actually really like the scimitars, and I am looking forward to getting my hands on another bunch of them. It has word bearers in it, so major plus. Yeah, oh yeah, because that's the thing. You and Leaky are both word bearers, aren't you? Bearers of the word. We have the words. Yeah, I still find that hard to, because you and Leaky are both really nice people, and yet you go for word bearers. Two of the kindest, loveliest people on the planet that I know, and you're both evil demigods. Black Library Celebration pre-orders are on my birthday, Saturday 18th. Well, happy birthday for them. That's one's a full novel. I want to read bits about the bits with Grammaticus and the Cabal, but the rest is hard work. To be honest, I haven't read Old Earth. I don't think I have. There's a few short stories that I never bothered with. Strangely enough, I was actually watching our Antipodean friends, the Outer Circle. Macca was doing one of his videos the other day, so I watched it because I do like a laugh. But yeah, he actually listed about several books that are all you really need to read or listen to. And he was going on about where the heresy went wrong for like the heresy book series, where it actually went wrong. And he actually says it was from when Legion came out. Legion is where it went wrong because it introduced the Cabal and Grammaticus and stuff. And they've never really, like, they got rid of the Cabal and have not done that much with what they have done with, you know, the perpetuals. But yeah, that was his hot take. Was that things went wrong from Legion and onwards. Oh, thanks for doing an honorary gold for back. Thank you. How will I discern which one is me? It's the one with lots of empty cans of beer around it, no doubt. Smithing heathens just put me in the mood to desecrate corpses and offer up the souls of captives to the greater glory of dark powers. Well, if that's what does it for you, then that's fine. You know, enjoy your hobby. It's always the nice ones. I would say we're all drawn to our own sort of favourite sort of things, be it the lore or be it the colorations or favourite characters. So that's the thing. Oh yeah, that's a fault. Yeah, because actually Phil is also looking at word bearers as well. So there's 3 of you in here. Legion is one of the best, if not the best heresy. Yeah. But that's what our Antipodean protagonists thought. Not what I think. Yes, I do want to be Terror Bunny. Because I was born in the year of the rabbit. This is the year of the rabbit. So anything bunny related is up my street. So yeah, it looks like tonight it's Word Bearers night. Word Bearers in the house. Bugger. Get in there, you little. Sorry, Luke. Phil already beat you to it. By the way, thanks Lee for retweeting my Lord Solo. Got 30 likes. There you go, see? What are friends for? But you did do a good job with that, Lord Solo, so to be fair. Yeah. It was particularly good. Alouette, je suis Alouette. Good evening, Master of the Fifths. Yeah, honestly, you should be an Imperial Fist player. It is the only logical thing you should be doing. But you're just such a bad boy. That's a bad boy. Hey yo. Hey yo. Bad boy. Right. Thumb's trapped. My thumb was trapped in the sprue, which is never a good situation to be dealing with. Quite bad, in fact. Dangerous. Your new semi-official walk title. I'm sure we have pamphlets that answer all your commonly asked questions about the word, Phil. All the questions, all the time. Wait. Long as the word. I'm hoping the Mark 6 word bearer upgrades are up for sale next week. Well, fingers crossed. So there's been so I'm still waiting. Still waiting. Although they announced it last week, but Exodus. Exodus actually reaped a healthy tally. He says, where he did kill Sevatar, shooting it in the back. Don't turn your back on him. This would be good. I really like those, especially Sarge Head. Yes, but Luke is so cool he can't spoil that by collecting Rogal's boys. If I could paint yellow, I would probably do some Imperial Fists. Just saying. If they did, oh, mercy me, mercy. Have you heard? No, I can't do. I'm trying to think of Peter Griffin. I have a certain avian persuasion. Yes, Well, we'll have to get some sort of like bad boy unit of fists. His crazy project of doing a massive full legio. That once that's done, that's going to look freaking magnificent. There's no two ways about it. I know. I've been there. I'm living the dream myself. But it's the getting there, the doing, the collecting. Where the bloody hell is those pieces? There they are. There they are. They're right there. Right in front of me. So lessons learned from the other day. Alpha Legion look cool as heck. Also must read up rules more in regards to Titan warfare. Titan warfare in Horus Heresy is just so uncivilized. Not like AT. So, Leaky, do you actually have a loyalist choice? Or are you just all word bearers? I knew I hadn't. Yeah. Just remembered I haven't glued their legs into positions. Hey, hello MZ, how are you? I hope you are nice and snugly warm on a cold evening. Oh, I feel like I'm coming down with a cold or something. So if I do sound a little bit raspy, that's probably why. Yeah, I've done the old time. Goddamn turrets! Lovely welcome for you, MZ. How's things for you? You alright? Ouch. Okay, right. So I'd say bullied was a harsh word. I'm Alpha Legion. I go prepared. I had infiltrating units with combi melters, so that's never fun, especially because they have infiltrating and as well as scout, and I got first turn, so they were all in half distance at least when they opened fire upon their targets. The thing that I got wrong was because I was a bit confused with everything as I thought it was. So what I asked, actually Ben, I messaged Ben. I said, "Can you one shot like things?" And he was like Knights or Titans, and he went, "No." So I got explode results upon the Warlord and not Warlord, the Warhound and one of his knights. To be fair, the knight that got the explode results on would probably have died anyway. The Porphyrion would have, because it already had a couple of glances, so it would have been like 5 hit points. So if I'd got an average dice roll, it would have been 2 hit points. It would have been dead anyway. But that's here and there. The Warlord, the Warhound won because I was shooting it with a Titan weapon, so I thought it just went through. It didn't, and as soon as I took it upon myself to look into it, and when I found out, and I said to Ivy, "We done it wrong. We'll have to do a rematch," sort of thing. The fact that I had to go up against 5 laws of war had nothing to do with it. No. 5 laws of war are not fun to go up against. And so I built my force. I had a straightforward thought. The only Lord of War I had was Iracundus, because she wanted to play Iracundus. I would have chosen Iracundus, but she wanted to play Iracundus, so I played Iracundus. But when I was firing Iracundus, I wasn't rolling 3 dice. I was only rolling 1 dice. So theoretically, I probably, if I had done it properly, and if we'd done it properly anyway, things would have been different. Knights would have been dead quicker. Because rolling 1 dice, I didn't make it. But you meant to roll 3 dice, drop the lowest, and you add the 2 highest together. I didn't do that. I was rolling 1 dice. So, take it how you will. I'm getting enough abuse from Electric Eve. I popped into her game, her Twitch earlier on today, and she asked me if I'd tabled anyone today. So it's like, oh, okay. Alpha Legion also. Oh, hi Ben. I did collect Black Templars, so that's a close to Fist, right? That's close. It's like being on the good side of Uncanny Valley. Of the Uncanny Valley. I have a big force of iron hands, salary auxiliary, and some custards. My loyalist pass is well and truly stamped out. Oh, and Gryphonicus. Indeed. Alpha Legion are also kind of busted in HH2. I don't know. Well, I'd played it. See, that's the thing. I don't use bells and whistles, like gamey things. I'm just straightforward, and I kill things. That's me. I roll the dice. I get the kills. People die. Uh, you can't one-shot them, but you can fucking wreck them in a single unit shooting. Technically not a one-shot. Yeah, I would say it should have been just a what do you call it? A exploded result on super heavies, and Titans is D3, but that's also on glances. So yeah, if you're shooting them with Titans anyway, they're also glances. You get D3 hits on glances from Titan weapons, which I wasn't doing either. It's a learning. It was only my second game as well, and it was my second game because my first game was Emperor's Children versus last year. But until that, I hadn't played Heresy since 2019. So. Yeah, she wanted to field her Warhound. So she had the Warhound, and she also had Mr. Kurz as well. That's 5 Lord of War. I was fielding your tanks because it's a pintle-mounted multi-melter, and they're handy. Like I even have one on a Scorpion. On both my Scorpiuses have pintle-mounted multi-melters because yeah, missiles are fine, but if you have a wandering knight like I did with an Acheron who just roasted like a majority of my 10-man tactical squad on an objective, and had its arse facing me, what are you going to do with that pintle mounted multi-melter? You're going to shoot it in the arse, which it did, which killed it. Didn't one-shot it. No. Did not one-shot it, but it took off the last hit point. Um, 4 is the magic number. Forge 4 HP is the maximum damage in a single weapon hit can do to a super heavy special rule accepted. Yeah, well, I wasn't doing 4 hit points, but I know now that you can't one-shot knights and titans. So the only thing that died, which shouldn't have died, really, is the Warhound. The Warhound shouldn't have died, and that's why I was like asking the question, can you one-shot them? And the answer was no. Because I would always ask Ben, because Ben knows everything about games. But everything else took multiple shots from multiple units to bring down, with the exception of the Porphyrion, which was shot at point blank range by 5 combi melters and with an explode result. And I've always said to Ivy, I've said to Luke, if I was playing you, although you're my hobby children, I'm not going to go easy on you. To be honest, I didn't go easy, but then again, I wasn't mean to her either. For a destroyer weapon hit, it's 6 max HP. From one hit, you can get 6 hit points out of one hit. I thought the maximum was like on a Titan weapon. It's only like the free. So, and as I said, I wasn't rolling 3 dice for the Titan weapons, which I should have, and then dropping one, the lowest, and adding the 2 together. I didn't do that. I was rolling 1 dice for the armor penetration. Which vehicle was the pintle-mounted multi-melter on? All my tanks have pintle-mounted multi-melters. So the 2 rhinos and the apart from Kratos don't have them, because they're the Scorpius. On the Acheron. Your Trapos got shot by Iracundus. It got shot by the 2 Kratos as well. All weapons. Styrex got killed by... well, it already lost a couple of hit points from being shot by Leviathan Melter Dudar twice, and the Mordathan squad there with their combi melters. That's another beer. Ooh. So, that's, Je suis à la bord. Yep, D3 for a pen plus D3. Oh, right, I didn't know that. So, obviously, Melter's at AP1, and I was rolling sixes. That's why I know it's exploding sixes. If you roll a 6 with an AP1, it's an explode result. Or if an AP2 is an explode result. Because you're hitting 7. And does 3D, 3 HP. Yeah, the 3 hit points on a glance from a Titan weapon, because it was Las Blasters, and I think they're AP1. Gatling Blasters were AP2, and APOC launchers AP3, but they're strength 7. But I didn't know that it was D3 for a penetration plus D3 for Doodah. Yeah, well, it was sort of partly down to because we started a thing off on Crystal's Twitch stream when I sort of mentioned pintle mounted multi-melter, and everyone just got into a thing about it, and now we want to have T-shirts with pintle mounted multi-melter on it for the loft, and because of that, I decided that I must have pintle mounted multi-melters on all my tanks for Alpha Legion. So, oh yeah, and my Land Raider Proteus has one. The only things that don't are the Kratos. To be honest, I don't even know if it was an option or not. If it is an option, that may be changing. So that's the thing. On Rhinos, it's 30 points. On Scorpius, is there only 20-point upgrade? And as I said, like, you know, the Scorpius missile launchers, all well and good. And Rhinos, you know, having a combi weapon's one thing, but a combi weapon's nothing compared to a pintle mounted multi-melter. Because then you have got a fast-moving light tank with anti-tank capability. So I think I've got. So what do I have? I had Headhunters, 2 more Dathan squads. Actually, I'm plucking it up. Alright, so Rewards of Treachery, using Coils of the Hydra, so that allows me to take the Rewards of Treachery multiple times, which now in the latest fact, you've got to have the same unit, so that's why I had 2 squads of Mordathan, because I love Mordathan. Although Fatal Strike is not as good as it used to be. Dynat had a Saboteur, an Exodus, Mordathan squads, both of which had combi weapons, melter guns, and one of them, so it's 5 melter guns there. Tactical squads, 2 tactical squads with Rhino transports with Pindle mounted multi melters on. And both had Vexilias. 5-man headhunter team, which had a multi melter in that. Leviathan Dreadnought with drop pod, 520 points. Squadron of Kratos, single Scorpius, and then a Reaver Battle Titan. So that was my entire 4,500 or 4,499 points. So that's what I had. That's what I used. And when you've got lots of multi-melters going around, or we had lots of multi-melters, but we also had lots of combi melters and first strike capability, deadly. Yeah, so Titan weapons are nasty as fuck because they're Titan weapons. And I thought because they were Titanic, like in right, Ivy was talking about it, and I said, well, that was it. But yeah, admittedly, maybe if I tried messaging somebody earlier, but it didn't. So that's why it was sort of worrying me. And I checked out, found out it was wrong, and then messaged Ivy to tell her this. That's also why I've not been talking about it, because it was just a game. She wanted to. Okay, I felt bad that I killed a warhound one-shotted in that regards, yes. But we were doing lots of things wrong. It was the second game of HH. And I weren't doing the damage right. So I might have killed things quicker. Admittedly, she might have killed things quicker. Well, if she could actually do the damage or whatever. Like she missed with her las cutters. Not a lot I can do about that. Well, not las cutter. The Atrapos. Atrapos didn't do much. Totally missed. She failed to damage with the las cutters, and she totally missed with the gravimetric singularity cannon. Yeah, so basically the thing that I got wrong was that you can't one-shot anymore. So, as I said, that was that. I knew obviously you had the plus, you had the 1 if it's AP2, you had the 2 if it's AP1. And you're doing the rolls. Right. Gaga. Well, looks like I'll be adding some pintle-mounted multi-matters to my Kratos then. So how many points is it for a Kratos? Is it 30 or 20? Poop. Oh, well, thank you very much. He seems quite a nice chap. There was one thing I thought was really was quite cute actually. Was Ivy was attacking a Leviathan, and I think it was on the wound roll or something. She said, "Oh, on a 4+, it's rending." I went, okay. I said, "But you still got to roll 6+ to actually hurt him. So how does that work out?" Yeah, but he gets 4+. Yeah, but you have to roll a 6 in order to hurt him. So how's that work out? I don't know. Is that right? You know, if your target number is 6, doesn't matter if you rend on a 4+, but you're not actually hitting the 6 that you need. If you know what I mean. Is that, does that make sense, or was I wrong in that as well? I'm doubting myself now. If you have to roll a 6, it doesn't matter if you do something on a 4+. A 4 isn't, you know, like, yeah. If you rend on a 6+, fine, but to actually physically wound something, you have to roll a 6. You still have to roll a 6. Does that make sense, or am I talking crap? I don't know. So for my Sons of Horus, 2 Land Raider carriers, each with 5 Registarians. Each carries multi-melter. Pintle mounted multi-melter on raiders. Because that's the thing. The other thing I didn't realise with multi-melters is that you got they're twin linked. So definitely worth it. Because multi-melters on their own are normally quite bad. They never hit where you want them to. Oh me. Oh. Gosh. So it's 20 points on a crap. Nice. Totally worth it, dude. Totally worth it. Heading off. Thanks for the stream. Good night. No, Rob. Thanks for dropping in, dude. I look forward to seeing the rest of your work over the next couple of days and weeks, in fact. Ross. These are totally going to get broken off, no doubt. Yes. I thought I'd already cut that one off. Oh, poop. Nice.